Hey Taurus, TT here with a channel message for all of my Taurians. If you are new, welcome to our Love Nest over here on Talk Taurus Tarot. If you're returning, welcome back, you guys. All of my readings are timeless, so whenever you're guided to this reading, that's when you're meant to receive it. If you ever want to book a personal reading, that information is in my description box to the very top. Be aware of any scammers in the comments posing as me soliciting tarot readings. All right, so in this channel message, it's pretty specific. So I'm going to start off by addressing a specific group of Taurians that may be currently going through anything that is affecting you, making you worry. Okay, so if you're a Taurian and you're going through a period in your life where you're reaching a breaking point and you're extremely overwhelmed, coping with life, mental anguish, any type of guilt, regret, this just feels like stress in general. So if you're going through anything like a lot of major transformations, you could be going through dark night of the soul. That's the energy that I'm picking up on. Or you're really just in this season of purging, letting go, extreme endings, and you need a message. All right, all this upheaval in your life, you may not have been able to predict it or see it coming. Even if it happened a long time ago, Spirit is acknowledging that this may have happened a while ago, but it still feels like yesterday that it happened. So whatever that may be for you, I feel like this channel message are really needed for the collective Taurians that are going through these transitions. It feels like back-to-back transitions. So there is a new beginning coming, but Spirit is wanting to help you, wanting to give you some type of aid, some type of support, confirmation. So all of my readings are confirmations of things that you already know yourself. So if it doesn't resonate with you, it may not be you. It may be someone that you're connected to. But again, Spirit is saying this particular channel message is very specific. Something that you imagined just didn't go the way that you intended for it to go. This is something that you've put all your hopes and dreams into. And I was just talking about this the other day. You know, there was a period in my life where I reached a very deep state of depression. Okay, I reached a very deep state of depression. And I didn't have any medical bills. I didn't have any, not medical bills. I didn't have any funds to really afford to pay for continuous therapy, right? I didn't have any insurance and I didn't have any funds to really go and invest in myself or my mental health at the time. So I wore a brave face. I coped with it as best as I knew how to, which was to get up every day and just do it and turn my feelings off. Because if I left my feelings on at that time, whatever I was going through mentally would have taken me out. You know, whatever was making me so afraid would have broke me, and I wasn't willing to let that happen. All right. So parts of me was fragmenting itself in order to cope with the reality of whatever I was facing at that time. During that time, fear had worked on me in stages. It first started with my oldest child. I had to send her away to live with my mother-in-law because I was pregnant with my second child. And I had a job and I could not manage both at the same time because daycare bills were like extremely high, and I felt like I was literally, my entire paycheck was going towards maintaining my everyday life. Like I only had enough to pay for the utilities, to feed my children and to pay daycare. So like literally going to work every day felt like an extreme burden because I wasn't able to get ahead. I was barely making it. So that was the first hit that I would say my heart took, because it was very hard to walk away from her and trust someone else, given my circumstances. And then I had my daughter, and it just seemed like a series of unfortunate events kept happening. I had a toothache, which turned into me needing to get my tooth extracted. And since I couldn't afford a root canal, they had to take the whole tooth. They couldn't give me any certain narcotics because I was damn near pregnant. So it was like an emergency extraction. And I was pregnant, and I got locked up, and then I got out. Then I had to go back to work. So I never had time to process all of those events at that time. So by the time I had my daughter and I returned back to work, it hit me hard when the doctor called and said, your daughter has sickle cell. And I was like, okay, but like in what way? And they were like, it's full blown SS. So me trying to get on FMLA and maintain all of the responsibilities to show up for her and her illness and things like that. Every day was an unexpected event. I didn't know if every time I checked into the ER, if it was going to be the last time that I saw her. And truth be told, that started from when she was 8 months. So for the first 5 years of her life, we were in and out of the ER damn near once a week or more, just for the common cold. And the first 5 years of their life, they're always catching colds. They're in daycare and different things like that. And then at the same time, I still had to go to work, and I still had to provide customer service at a call center. So this is reminding me of a period of my own life where I could testify and say that the fear of what could potentially come of all of my hopes and dreams placed into my children, could potentially lead me to an inevitable point on my journey. So I know what this feels like, okay, to a degree. There's different degrees that I'm being shown in my mind's eye. But I can remember a time where my mind couldn't imagine anything more than the reality that I was being forced to be faced with. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine the opposite, because fear had really worked on me. And then I started having panic attacks and anxiety. One time I was on the highway, and my body completely locked up. I had never experienced that in my life. I didn't even know that was a thing. The ambulance came for me, and I'm on literally 78 in Georgia. And the paramedic was like, "You're having a panic attack." A panic attack. So he was pretty much like, I couldn't even move. Like my whole body locked up. And I was like, the more he was like, "You got to calm down. Otherwise your body's going to keep tensing." So we had to wait for my body to physically calm down in order for me to start perceiving, like in order for me to take a breath. Cause I was like, I was gasping for air, and it was panicking even more. So I know this energy. That's why I said fear had its grip on me at one point, and I didn't have the means to break through it. I just kept meeting more and more overwhelming breaking points. By the time I had my third child, he had sickle cell too. So now I have 2 children, and from the moment he was 7 months, he was in and out of the hospital as well. His situation was a lot more difficult because he has sequestration. So he had far more near-life death experiences where they had to resuscitate him and bring him back and things like that. By the time I had him, I would say I reached a complete point of break where all I could do was walk away as best as I could. In order to come back and show up, I had to take a mental break for myself. I had to remove myself from being so close up. So in a lot of ways, in 2020, being forced to give up my job and just dedicate my time to my children was my saving grace. As much as 2020 was, very devastating, that was the first time that I can honestly say I felt a break, okay? A sense of peace. My children weren't getting sick anymore. I had more time to myself, and I had time to really sit down and meditate and pray and balance out my energy. So if you're going through something like that, or to any capacity, and you feel very alone, I feel like this message may be for you. Okay. So let's just get the rest of the cards and see what channel message spirit has for you, Taurus. And we're going to go from there. Whenever you're guided to this reading, I pray that it brings you some peace, some clarity, and inspiration to continue persevering over whatever challenges you may be currently facing at the time in which you're guided to this reading. All right. Spirit, what channel message do you have for Taurus? So we got the Lovers, sensuality, free will, manifestation, autonomy. I'm going to put this card over here so I don't get flagged for the imagery on the card. Hopefully it didn't sit too long. In the picture, we have foresight, planning, and strategy. So strong Piscean energy coming up here. Alpha Centaurians. So I'm picking up a lot of galactic energy here. And then we have resilience. Wow. Personal power. So this is definitely hitting, because I was just talking about perseverance. All right. It takes a lot of resilience to go through what you're going through right now, to go through these endings and these beginnings, to have all of these transitions transiting. You may have a lot transiting in your chart right now too, from an astrological standpoint, but something about beauty, nature, and patterns. Okay. So Spirit wants to give you some foresight to help you get over a dark period in your and this could be a pattern. You may be being able to notice, like, I can almost guarantee, like clockwork, what's going to happen next, because you've been on this cycle for so long. And you're just ready for it to end. That's the energy that I pick up here. Like, you're just ready for it to be over. Like, when is it going to be over? 5, 8, 13, 21, 34 may be significant points on your timeline, on your lifespan, that influential things happened. Between 31 and 34 is also significant. I feel like by the age 38, those of you that are 38, you may be able to say, like, you've overcome this period in your life, these changes in your relationship. Yeah, a lot of emotions are being sorted out here. And this has something to do with ancestry, cornucopia, and having the patience to go through these experiences in order for you to make it out on the other side. A lot of you, I'm picking up this energy where you have a lot of support from your ancestors, your roots. You have a lot of support coming through for you, helping you with these transitions. $42.11. Something is being harmonized here. And all of those emotions that you have is meant to bring forth a lot of abundance. Cornucopia is the abundance card for me in every way or every facet you can think of. But there's something about the things that you went through in your life that is beckoning this abundance in. It's a guarantee victory at the end of this long extended road. Some of you are going through these cycles with your twin flame. And your connection with your partner is transmuting a lot of ancestral karma or lessons. Those patterns are breaking those things up and eradicating them from your DNA or your subconscious mind. Let's see. And when this cycle is completely over, or when these cycles are completely over, you're going to be able to envision again. You're going to be able to feel like you can create again. This is about you going through these changes and these challenges so you can go make it to the other side and be fully connected back to source energy, where you're able to envision again. You're able to manifest a reality different from the one that you once started on. And I'm a living testimony that on the other side of this dark period is bliss. One of the major transitions that I feel like I am personally going through as a Taurus is coming back into my physical vessel. I've spent a lot of time in the spiritual realm with angelic beings, being given so many different perspectives from a higher degree, that as I'm integrating back into my body and I am really involved from this point of perception, right? Being in your skin, being in the experience in its full totality, I'm able to retrieve insight, foresight from the time I spent in the spiritual realm, processing all of these experiences. And now I'm being asked to apply all of the information that they gave me as I'm going back into a descending process. So I'm able to feel the emotions a lot more deeply. I'm able to see things from a deeper felt experience. Okay, it was a lot easier to go through the experiences and just see it from the higher perspective, because I had less emotion to sit with. But in this descending process, I've noticed that with every cycle that happens, it's like I ascend to the spiritual realm, receive the insight, and then I descend back into the human experience, and I start to apply the insight that was given to me. And every time I ascend and descend and ascend and descend, I'm able to see the correlation, right? So those angelic beings will only allow me for particular seasons to ascend with them and then descend back and apply whatever that they taught me from the spiritual realm. Some of you may be doing that as well, is what they're saying to me. And they want you to know that they haven't abandoned you. So you may start to feel like they're not giving you the type of answers that they once did, and they're allowing you to apply and make choices, but they don't want you to feel like they've abandoned you. Look at that, the High Priestess card. They don't want you to feel like you're alone. They're still watching over you, and they still are accessible to you, is what they want me to tell you. Oh, they want me to tell you that they love you. Your ancestors love you. And this is just confirmation. And they're going to show you different birds. They're going to show you things that you envisioned from the 5D and how they're relevant to you in the 3D. Utilizing your sixth sense. It's like your cup is being replenished as we speak. Look at that, the Ace of Pentacles. But in order for you to really manifest this abundance into your life, they need you to remember something. Four of Pentacles. They need you to surrender something specifically that you're harboring or holding on to that is no good for you. Yeah, it has a lot to do with pain. So the Three of Swords and emotions. Emotions are running high. All right. They want you to plant those emotions into something that will render you an extreme harvest. So let's give you the example of being a musician, right? A lot of great musicians that write music, they channel what they had to go through in order to persevere over that emotion. Like, for example, Beyonce's song where she says, "Remember those walls I built? Well, baby, they're tumbling down. And they didn't even put up a fight. They didn't even make a sound. Found a way to let you in." Something about never even had a doubt. Following something of your halo. I could see your halo. All right, so this is telling me that just like Beyonce made songs out of her experiences and put them into music, it rendered her a lot of prosperity because she channeled her pain that she was going through, her emotional ups and downs that she was going through, instead of posting it on TMZ or giving it, like I've been hurt or victimizing herself. She sat with it and she allowed those emotions to process, and she utilized that higher perspective to kind of see how those walls from her emotional experiences allow her to be able to perceive the angelic form of the person that she loved. You know what I'm saying? It's that same type of energy here. And whatever were her fears, anxiety, the terror, whatever was eating away at her, she planted those seeds into her music. And there's so many people that were able to emotionally connect to her music and feel inspired that there is another perspective outside of the grief that you're experiencing, outside of the pain that you're experiencing. Some people write books and they explain in their own creative expression how bad it hurts, and they give it its final burial. And when people ask them, you know, what inspired you to write that book, or what inspired you to write that song, and they're able to say, well, I was very depressed, or I was very, you know, XS Tentacion was able to connect to so many people. And through his vulnerability, he was able to help so many other souls start to remember that they are just as resilient as he was, or they were. So all of these experiences are intended to help you tap into your personal power, your personal resilience, and help you make artistry out of these things, expressing your truth, expressing your pain, expressing, like, just being honest. This was tough for me, and I didn't know how I was going to make it to the other side. I didn't know if I was ever going to stop feeling this deep unhappiness. So these breaking points are divine pentacles, aces of pentacles, a divine offer for you to utilize that pain and put it into purpose. So I feel like Spirit wants me to encourage you that none of these choices that you're making to keep fighting and keep persevering over these experiences are going to render you something void. It's going to render you something prosperous. And you're going to be able to see in the end the relevancy of it, the blessing from it. And there's going to come a point on your timeline where you're able to say, wow, I know why I was chosen to go through that experience. Wow, I know why my higher self was saying, don't give up. And you will be a testimony, or you already are. And some of you, you're already doing it. And Spirit is encouraging you that when those terrors come about again, it is only your breakthrough, not your breakdown. So hold your head held high in those seasons where you feel like, you know, you're only being given the short end of the stick. Start imagining again what it will look like on the other side of you conquering this emotional state of being. I'm feeling guided to pull a specific card. I just have to wait for Spirit to tell me which card they want me to pull. I think I got it. Hold on. And they're saying all upright. Yeah, you will receive the recognition of all of your hardship. Like you're going to be successful at something. You're going to be praised, rewarded. Some of y'all are going to be very famous and well known for this path that you're currently walking. Some of you are going to go down in history. It's like you're doing something that ain't never been done before, or challenges that was never able to be persevered over by your ancestors. You're going to be that first person that was able to beat depression, that was able to beat anxiety, that was able to go through these experiences and come out resilient. And I heard it's going to be the gift that keeps on giving. So we have distorted perception. Reality is rarely what we are raised to believe it is. Just like I was saying, perception. And then your ancestor card says, stand out, be proud, individuality, shine brightly. So I'm being guided to pull this card here. the distorted perception. And I'm going to read to you a insert out of the book. And it's very intriguing that this card is number 7, and this year is the universal year of year 7. So for those of you that feel guided, Spirit is saying research what the universal year 7 is all about, and you'll be able to see exactly the different things that are predicted to be the theme of the year. So we have reality is rarely what we are raised to believe it is. How we experience the world changes throughout life, such as shifts in perception typically occur when an event, a person, a place, or a new life stage leaves us questioning something integral to what had been our understanding of the world or ourselves. Consequently, our perception and thinking shifts irreversibly and changes how we experience our reality. The maiden's expression is calm and accepting as she observes the world without the distorted lens of the feathered tent. The tent represents the outdated cultural, ancestral, and social conditioning she is awakening from. She stands firm in a solemn awe of the wisdom revealed in her newfound worldview. All that she had been raised to believe about the world herself no longer applies. She sees beyond how limited and false certain aspects of her perception and understanding had been. With this new perspective and clarity, it is now possible for her to grow beyond, rather than blindly repeat, the intergenerational patterns, fears, and false beliefs that would otherwise have a deterring effect on the life she would go on to live. A sophisticated shift in consciousness will soon be made available to you. Initially, seeing things differently may feel alienating or even like a betrayal or great loss. It may present initial challenges in what to do with and about this new perspective, especially if what you had envisioned for your life is dramatically altered as a result. The maiden assures you that any confusion, grief, or upheaval from releasing distorted perceptions or limiting beliefs will eventually open into amazing opportunities, remarkable growth, and increase in self-sovereignty. The maiden's message is power, beauty, and liberation happen when we do not close our eyes or retreat back into the mentality we have outgrown. Wow. And then we have shine brightly. Shine bright like a diamond. What is that? Shine brightly. Let's do it. Shine brightly. Let's get into it. Stand out, be proud, individuality. The Huli Wigmen have lived in the southern highlands of Papua New Guinea. Guinea. I'm sorry. For the past few thousand years, the Huli Wigmen are ferocious warriors who wear wild, elaborate wigs that are created from their own hair and beautiful colored feathers. Their extravagant appearance includes painted faces and ornate bone and bamboo nose piercings. At around 14, the boys go and live at wig school and in all male groups without any contact with females. The wig school, the Huli boys learn about hunting, building, and the tradition of the Huli Wigmen. They also learn to grow their hair and make their wigs. The wig making process is extremely important for the males of the Huli, as their individuality is expressed through their extravagant wigs and face paintings. A Huli man must make all his wigs before he marries. The young men also take part in ceremonial rituals have magic spells put on them, and follow strict diets to help their hair grow. The ancestors speak. It's time, beautiful one, to light up and shine brightly, like the Huli Wigman. Be proud of who you are and what you stand for. During these trying times, you are much needed here on earth. It can be scary to shine brightly or to stand out and be different, but do not hide your light or dull yourself down. You are not alone in this. The universe is supporting you and helping you shine as brightly as you can so others can benefit from your positive energy. Divinatory meaning. Try to show others the way towards their own positive life path. Be a candle or a light in the darkness. Lead the way so others can see where they need to go to find their own light. It won't always be an easy path, but you must be strong and remain positive. Right now, you no longer have to hide your gifts or who you are. Be proud of your unique spirit and shine as brightly as you can. Oh my God, y'all. That almost made me cry. You know, when I think about just like the rites of passage between the ages of 13, right? Around that strong adolescence age, there hasn't really been a rite of passage provided for that transition of becoming a woman or becoming a man. It's kind of been, we've kind of just been thrusted into these experiences, like thrown into the water and then being forced to learn how to swim. And it's really heartbreaking to know that our society doesn't foster certain principles that our ancestors were once given as a system to be able to assist the transition of that growth process, right? Honoring that transition that would allow them to show up for their communities in a healthy way. There's so many young boys that have no guidance, and there's so many young girls that have no guidance at a very young age. And we, as that middle ground age group, haven't been given the tools or the resources to even begin to know how to foster them in their transition, because we weren't fostered. You know, we didn't have godmothers and godfathers that were a community unit. And this is making me also think about how traditionally it's not about repeating the same things your ancestor did to be so different and so rebellious. It's about finding a way to honor those systems and recreate them, knowing that there still needs to be a system in place that facilitates that growth for our youth and lights a candle when they're going through those transitions of life experiences and how it can mentally affect you. There are a lot of people struggling with things like anxiety, depression, worry, feeling abandoned. And we don't even know how to begin to help them because we're still trying to put the oxygen mask on ourselves. So if I could say anything to you today, it would be not to carry the guilt to feel like you failed, even yourself or your children if you have them, because you're doing an amazing job. Continue to stand out, to continue to be proud for the individual you've become. And I see many of you will create some type of transition, you know what I'm saying, in your own communities and in your own environments to help people get through certain dark periods in life. Giving options is super important. Yeah, I feel like you're going to be providing insight. You have spirit guides. They're going to be providing you insight, guidance, and it's all a part of a purpose, a greater whole. Yeah, I feel like Let me see. This Page of Swords is making me feel like, even though you're coming up against certain systems that don't want to hear what you have to say, it's an energy that you're coming up against, but your spirit guides are watching you like a hawk and making sure that you are protected on all fronts. You don't even have to fear this energy that doesn't like what you're saying. This energy is a bully. This energy is trying to claim you, trying to break you, but your spirit guides is saying you will persevere over this energy. You're gonna win and you're gonna get justice. This energy feels like it can hold on to you, like it has a grip to you, and your spirit guides is saying this grip that this energy has on you is being released. Yeah. And a lot of you, like, it's been directly directed to divine feminine energy. This energy has been deeply trying to harm divine feminine energy, like an attack. Attacking divine energy off of what you love, your lovers, your children, your romantic partners, but they have a secret agenda. Yeah, but it's changing, and that's because the wheel of fortune is changing in your trajectory. Like, the wheel of fortune is changing for you now. All right, this dark entity is being cut down, and you're the warriors that are called to shine the light so bright within you that that energy is eradicated, like obliterated. And this comes from you stepping back into your personal power. This is beautiful. Let's get a closing message. And so we have patience, Heron. Create a place in nature's stillness and be renewed. Take time alone to find balance. Step confidently towards your purpose. Patience will bring you the rewards. You have Goose, inner knowing. You are a brave traveler. Your soul knows the way. Be confident you will achieve your destination. Loyal friends are always with you. Don't worry, you are blessed. Let yourself fly. Oh, Taurus, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.